I'm Brad Walker, and I am the second-year bass apprentice from KU here at Lyric Opera Kansas City. Generally speaking, it's much the same as what a blacksmith would do. You know, you start out in your basic training, you know, how to work metal, how to compose that into, you know, what you can work, and then you start to get more training. For me, my collegiate and master's programs are sort of that basis. And now there are many programs around the country that offer young artist or apprentice programs, and it's designed to sort of begin your immersion into the opera field, because there's a lot to learn and there's a whole bunch of stuff that nobody ever teaches you in school, because you're so focused on, you know, technique. Because without technique, you have nothing. If you can't sing for 3 hours, 5 days a week for rehearsals and then your shows, then what's the point? So that's what you learn first, and then these apprentice programs are designed to really sort of ease you into how to be a professional. My favorite things that I've learned as an apprentice at Kansas City, well, my only apprentice program, so everything, but mostly watching how professionals work, for me is the best way to learn how to behave in rehearsals, what's okay, what's not okay, what the sort of hierarchy is, how to prioritize what you do, and how you learn. You know, there are always different learning styles in shows, but there aren't really different options. You know, you have to be able to sort of adapt, and for each director, you know, they have their different way of speaking or different way of wanting to rehearse, and you learn. For me, I learned by watching principals in my first season here and getting the opportunity to sing the corporal on how to work with directors. And then it's an interesting transition from chorister to principal, especially when you have colleagues on either side, and how that people, or how to behave then as well. You know, I mean, I have many friends in Barber, and I had friends in Daughter, and how to interact with them to be friends at the end of the show. So that it taught me a lot about how to behave as a person and as a professional to maintain friendships and build friendships in this business, which is not always the easiest thing, since it's based on composition. Yeah, so that said, as an apprentice, even if you're not singing your principal role, we're allowed to come to all the rehearsals, all the principal rehearsals, which are usually closed for choristers and public, frankly. So it offers an amazing chance to get to know people on a personal level. Maestro Holmquist is really great about introducing us, so we're not total strangers watching rehearsal. And then when people find out that we're apprentices, they really sort of open their arms and their hearts to us a lot of times to give us maybe a master class here or there on how to be a cover, or you know, how to audition, and all these things that, you know, people who have sort of been through the ringer, so to speak, know that we don't know. And then on top of that, as an apprentice, I have gotten the chance, as do all of us, get an amazing opportunity to sing roles more featured than the chorus. And so then you get to learn how to interact as a performer, not just as a, you know, a student-teacher relationship, but as a even-keeled sort of equal relationship. And it's really an amazing chance. And then our first meeting in August, where we meet all the apprentices and the company, the staff, Maestro Holmquist said, "This apprenticeship will give you what you put in." And for me, that was the first sort of stepping off point, was that, well, okay, what am I going to put in? And I realized right away what this apprenticeship would give me more than anything else was real life opportunities to learn to be a professional. And that's what I decided to get out of it, was just watch as many people work as I could. Work with the staff as often as I could, and from that I've gotten everything I could have wanted out of it. I'd like to think that I've become a good young professional who people want to work with, and the feedback I've gotten from directors and stuff I work with is much the same, which is great. Affirmation of that I've learned that here is invaluable. And I'd like to think I won't screw up nearly as much now in the real world because of it. You know, it's sort of a safety net. It's not like, you know, mama birds kick the baby birds out of the nest, but in this case there's a safety net right there. And I definitely hit it once or twice, But now I really feel like I'm sort of on the straight and narrow, so to speak, and I owe that completely to lyric opera.